So the next 3 rounds, the last 3 rounds, are going to be worked in the same colour. And we're going to be working in the chain spaces between your puff. Okay, we're going to join from the right side, and like that we make sure that our ends are always on the wrong side of the work. So we're going to join in here, turn our work over, and it's 2 chains and a slip stitch just into that chain space. Just be careful not to work those chains too tightly. So what we're doing is we're creating 2 chain spaces, and we're going to work our petals into those 2 chain spaces. If you work this round too tightly, it will draw it all up and make it a bit puckered. So just be a bit careful on this round. Now we're ready to finish the round, and we're going to join, if we can, into our very first slip stitch. So again, we're aiming to join as low as we can down here, not into the chains, not into the space. But if you find that too much of a fiddle, just join it somewhere that looks sensible. It's really not going to show. So I've joined that round. Now I'm going to turn my work over. So now I'm working from the right side, and I'm going to start round 5 with a slip stitch into my first chain space. 1 chain, half treble, 2 trebles, a double treble, and then back down, 2 trebles, and 2 half trebles. And then a slip stitch into the next 2 chain space, and now I'm working my next petal straight into the 2 chain space with 2 half trebles. Having problems with my yarn here. 2 trebles, double treble, 2 trebles, two half trebles, slip stitch into my next 2 chain space, Now I'm working my next petal. So I'll continue like this. So I'll finish this petal, slip stitch, petal, slip stitch. So by the time I finish this round, I should have 6 petals. So I've nearly finished round 5. I've just got 1 slip stitch to do. And then I'm going to join into my very first chain, which is here. And I'm going to join that with a slip stitch. Okay, now I'm ready to start round 6. So round 6 is worked through the back of the loop, which means that I'm only going to be picking up this top part of the stitch. Okay, and I'm going to work into every single stitch as I go round, and I'm going to work a spike stitch here. So where I've got this slip stitch in the 1 chain space, I'm going to work a spike down into there. So we'll start round 6, 1 chain, 1 DC, half treble, a half treble increase. That just means you'll work 2 into the same stitch. Don't worry if it looks like it's distorting your stitches. They will all settle into place when you finish this round. So that's my increase. 1 half treble. That's the halfway point of the petal. So I'm back down with a half treble increase, 1 half treble, and 2 double crochets. So that's 1 into each of the next 2 stitches. Now this is my spike stitch, so I'm going right down here into this space with a double crochet. Okay, and now I'm ready to work my way up. Don't miss that first stitch, that's where I'm working my first DC. Two DCs, 1 half treble, half treble increase, half treble, that's my halfway point. Half treble increase, half treble, 2 DCs. And then my spike stitch goes right down here in that space. Just coming up to the end of my final round. So I've got 2 DCs, a spike stitch, and I'm going to work a slip stitch join into my first chain. Again, do any kind of join you like here, but this is my preferred method. And that's it. Ends to sew in. Maybe about another 39 to go.